Trucking accidents are very common. I'm sure, as you're driving down any road in the city, or especially on a highway, you see numerous 18-wheelers. Trucking accidents also involve commercial vehicles that aren't 18-wheelers, such as HVAC or plumbing repair trucks. The injuries that you sustain in a trucking accident are usually much more severe than an accident that involves just a normal car or pickup truck on the road. This is because those trucks are much heavier than those other vehicles. Therefore, when they're involved in a wreck, the damage is much greater. It's extremely important to act fast in hiring an attorney when you're involved in a trucking accident. That's because some of the time evidence disappears. These trucks, parts of them may disappear. They usually have black boxes, and the information on that can be deleted. So it's important to get an attorney as early as possible to ensure that none of those things happen. The reason truck drivers are held to a higher standard is because they drive much longer than you and I. They travel greater distances, and again, their vehicles are much more heavier than the vehicles that you and I drive. There are federal rules and regulations that apply specifically to truck drivers, and that includes them having to have more testing and a Class C license as opposed to your normal Class A license. There are many factors to investigate when looking at a truck accident, and that goes all the way from what did the driver do, what did his manager do, what was the safety training the driver received, what was the safety training he should have received but didn't, whether the driver is intoxicated, whether the driver has a history of this type of behavior. There are all sorts of things that have to be investigated in a trucking accident, and that's why it's important that you hire an attorney that's experienced in these matters. Depending on the facts of the case, multiple parties can be held liable in a trucking accident case, whether that be the driver, his employer, the company he works for. It could even be the manufacturer of a part of the truck if that part failed or wasn't working properly. There are numerous types of damages that can be recovered in a trucking accident case. That could mean medical bills, lost wages due to your inability to work, pain and suffering and mental anguish, disfigurement. Also in a trucking accident case, you can seek punitive damages sometimes, and that really comes into play to punish the trucking company due to very egregious behavior. I think holding trucking companies accountable is very important. A lot of these companies have good, safe, responsible drivers, and they have programs in place to ensure that those drivers are safe. But a lot of these companies do not. Part of my job is I hope that I'm making the roads safer for you and your children, and also my family as well. I've handled numerous cases involving large trucks, and that goes from handling a case or to resolving a case before having to file a lawsuit, resolving a case after filing a lawsuit, or taking a case involving an 18-wheeler all the way to trial. Your initial consultation on a trucking accident case can take an hour to 2 hours, and that's really so I can gather the entire story from you, from the beginning, from what happened with the wreck, how you were injured, how you have received treatment for those injuries, and also how those injuries are currently affecting your life.